The House of Representatives is to continue with its session focused on the government's programs and policies today as well. The government plans have been lauded by many lawmakers of ruling parties, while opposition have flouted what they highlight as its shortcomings. Meanwhile, the lower house is looking to endorse the programs and policies today itself. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. The trial in the fake Bhutanese refugee case begins from today, with the court at liberty to call any individual mentioned during the trial. Home Minister says search is on for more evidence. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal to provide answer to queries raised by lawmakers on the government's programs and policies. Lower house looking to endorse the policies today itself. 4 people, including 2 policemen, killed in a stabbing and shooting attack in central Japan. Alleged assailant, the son of the City Assembly Speaker, arrested. And Manchester United booked their Champions League place with a game to spare, with a 4-1 thumping of Chelsea at the English Premier League. A massive public interest has been generated by the fake Bhutanese refugee scam, as a case has been filed against 30 alleged culprits involved in the multi-million rupees scandal. Nepal police have continued with the investigation against individuals other than 30 defendants who have also been alleged involved in the case. The defendants include former Deputy Prime Minister Top Badurai Maji and former Home Minister Balkrishna Khand, among others. The trial to put the defendants behind bars or free them on bail while they are prosecuted will start from today. It means the case has now entered the phase of court proceedings. In the meantime, Nepal police have also corresponded with the anti-graft body Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority (CIA) and the Department of Anti-Money Laundering Investigation for further investigations. The 2 separate departments will now investigate the case in their own respective manner. Meanwhile, the police had reached an agreement of investigating against other individuals whose names have also surfaced during the police grilling. The court can also summon any individual whose names are taken by the defendants during the trial. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal is to present answers to questions raised by lawmakers on the government's programs and policies at the House of Representatives later today. The lower house meeting had been called for 11 a.m. Today's session is expected to endorse the programs and policies today itself once the Premier concludes his address. The government is announcing its budget for the coming fiscal year on Monday next week, as customary on the 15th of Nepalese month of Jesta. The government has presented its programs and policies on the 19th this month. Lawmakers had raised questions on extractions of stone and gravel from the Ture region, merger of government entities to reduce expenses, and amendments to several social programs, among others. Opposition parties, including main opposition CPN-UMO, have voiced against the government's plans. Ruling parties, meanwhile, have defended the programs, saying that they address the current national issues. The government looks to shift its focus to budget formation and the Prime Minister's India visit after endorsing the programs and policies. The government has filed an application at the Office of the President for pardon to those behind bars, including Resam Chaudhary, who is serving a life sentence for his involvement in the Kantipur massacre. Legal advisor to the President, Baburam Kaur, has said that applications for general amnesty to Chaudhary and others have been filed by the Ministry of Home Affairs. The ministry recommends names for pardon from the President on the Republic Day, which falls on 15th of Jesta as per Nepali calendar. Before the recommendation, the application has been filed to understand the view of the Office of the President. The process is followed by a proposal for pardon at the Council of Ministers. Recommendation for pardon is made only after a decision is taken by the Cabinet. Prior to this, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal had held consultations with President Ramchandra Paudel regarding a general amnesty for Chaudhary and others. A 2-year-old and 7 security personnel were killed during the Kantipur massacre in Kailali when protests were held against the Constitution. On 16th of May last week, the Supreme Court had upheld the life sentence slapped on Chaudhary by the Kailali District Court and High Court in Dipayal. Constitution and legal experts are divided on the application for pardon. While some have said that the President can issue a pardon, others opine against it in case of those convicted for heinous crimes. According to Article 276 of the Constitution, the President can issue a pardon or amend the sentence issued by courts, judicial or semi-judicial authority, and administrative officials or departments. Chaudhary has remained behind bars since the 27th of February 2018. Based on the life sentence issued by the courts, Chaudhary will have to remain 20 years behind bars. If he is issued a pardon, his sentence will be reduced by around 15 years. Pardons are issued on the Constitution Day, Republic Day and Democracy Day. In our Public Voice segment, we've asked what should be done to take forward curbing corruption as a campaign. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
नीति नै परिवर्तन गर्नुपर्छ त्यो चेन्ज नगर्दासम्म यो भ्रष्टाचार चाहिँ रोकिदैन
यदि भ्रष्टाचार गरेको खण्डमा चाहिँ कडा भन्दा कडा कठोर कानुन बनाएर त्यसलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्नुपर्छ
तल्लो निकायदेखि नै यो भ्रष्टाचार भनेको के हो र त्यसका बारेमा शिक्षा दिन जरुरी छ
भ्रष्टाचार विरुद्धको नीति नियमहरू लागू गर्ने अनि भ्रष्टाचारमा मुछेकोलाई कारबाही गर्न पर्यो
जिम्मेवार व्यक्ति संस्थाहरूले समयमै चनाको भएर उनीहरूको नियमन गर्ने अनुगमन गर्ने
युवाहरूले नै चाहिँ चेन्जको लागि चाहिँ अघि सर्नुपर्छ
सबै नेपाली नागरिकहरू सबै सचेत हुनुपर्छ
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has intensified legworks to finalize the agendas of Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal's visit to India. Easing Nepal-Bangladesh energy trade, operation of two-way air route in Bhairahawa and Mahendranagar, integrated checkposts, petroleum pipeline and digital payments have made it to the priority list. However, the exchange of huge sum of banned Indian notes of 500 and 1,000 has failed to make it to the list. India imposed a ban on the use of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes 7 years ago. According to the Nepal Central Bank, these notes worth over 81 million rupees is stuck in Nepal's banking system. This includes 68,148 notes of 500 and 16,552 of 1,000 Indian rupees. This estimation, however, excludes the amount that the general public might carry with them. The Indian side has remained indifferent despite several exchange requests made in the past. When the ban came into effect, Nepal Rashtra Bank had corresponded with the Reserve Bank of India that had said the issue would be addressed at government level. Last Friday, the Central Bank of India decided to withdraw 2,000 rupee notes, giving the public time till September end to exchange their money. The use of 2,000 rupee Indian note is prohibited in Nepal. However, there are many transactions made on a daily basis at the bordering regions. We'll take a short break here. More news coming up. Cross-border flights, new entry points and operation of new airports are few of the agendas likely to be raised during Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal's upcoming India visit. The two new airports have yet to operate at full capacity because of what is termed geopolitical issues. Prime Minister Dahal, who has been claiming that his India visit would be historic, faces the challenge of finding solutions to these issues. The Gautam Buddha International Airport in Lumbini came into operation a year ago. However, international flights at the airport have yet to receive an easy entry point to Nepal through India. Despite requests from the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal for entry point from Lumsdi of India near Lumbini, India has remained indifferent. Entry from Lumsdi would ease flights for Gautam Buddha and Pokhara airports while reducing costs for service seekers. Experts have recommended requesting entry points while also considering the proposed Nijgarh airport. The government aims to increase the number of tourists arriving in Nepal by twofolds in coming years. To meet this target and cope with the increase of aviation pressure by around 15%, the government has prioritized commercial operation of the airports constructed at huge investments. Nepal has been demanding 7 entry points from east to west. India has been denying entry points from Mahendranagar and Nepalganj, citing what it calls military strategic areas. Flight duration is likely to reduce by 10 to 15 minutes if an entry point is provided at Mahendranagar for flights arriving from the west. A meeting between the technical officials has already been scheduled to resolve technical issues before the India visit of Prime Minister Dahal. Industry Department Chief of the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, Buddhisagar Lamichhane, and Director General of Civil Aviation of Authority of Nepal, Pradeep Adhikari, have already reached New Delhi for the same. Despite the aviation route being a technical topic, analysts have said that politicization of the issue has increased complications. Saying that the Pokhara airport was built with grant assistance from China, India has not cleared aviation permit. Meanwhile, regular flights have also stopped from Gautam Buddha International Airport, which was constructed by a Chinese company. It has been learned that operation of both airports will be included in the agenda for Prime Minister Dahal's India visit. Analysts maintain that Prime Minister Dahal's India visit will be fruitful if he makes successful diplomatic effort for operation of the two airports built with billions in loan. District Administration Office Bara has received 3,015 complaints from victims of loan sharks. The Government Commission formed to probe into irregular transactions had called for complaints from victims and extended submission time till 29th of May. Victims have complained that the loan sharks had inflated the amount of loans while making documents, forged new documents to claim their properties and kept documents with themselves even when the loan amounts were cleared. And it's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, how can the genuine Bhutanese refugees languishing in the camps be managed? Your options are A. Home repatriation, B. Third country settlement, and C. Settle in Nepal. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. 4 people were killed in a stabbing and shooting attack in central Japan. The alleged assailant is said to have stabbed a woman before firing a hunting rifle to kill 2 policemen in the city of Nakano, Nagano Prefecture. A 4th death was later confirmed. The suspect is the son of the city assembly's speaker. Gun violence remains extremely rare in Japan despite the killing of ex-Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in July last year. According to Japanese news agency Kyodo, police received a call at around 1625 about a man who had chased and then stabbed a woman. An eyewitness working in a nearby field told Kyodo that the man's attack on his first victim had been carried out with a blade around 30 centimeters long. The suspect, who was reportedly wearing a camouflaged uniform, a hat, sunglasses and a mask, then allegedly shot police officers who responded to the emergency. The suspect reportedly barricaded himself for hours inside the home of his father, Masamichi Aoki, before being detained. It's time now for the sports update.
Sports news.
Semi-final matches of the NSC Kava Women's Volleyball Challenge Cup are slated for today. Host Nepal play Kazakhstan in the second semi-final. Team Nepal finished as runners-up of Pool A after suffering a 4-set defeat against India in their last group stage match and are set to take on Pool A winners Kazakhstan, who had seen off Uzbekistan in their last group match. Team Nepal are aiming to secure a hat-trick of the trophy of the tournament being held at home. Nepal women's volleyball team head coach Jan de Brandt has termed the clash against Kazakhstan a tough one. The match between the two sides is slated to begin at 5 at the National Sports Council's covered hall in Tripureshwar. Prior to that, Pool A winners India take on Pool B runners-up Uzbekistan in the first semi-final. In the matches played yesterday for ranking points, Kyrgyzstan saw off Maldives while Sri Lanka secured a win against Bangladesh. Kyrgyzstan will play Sri Lanka for the 5th place, while Maldives play Bangladesh for the 7th place. 2 matches have been scheduled at the Martyrs Memorial 8 Division League for today. At 2 p.m, Kumaltar Youth Club, that is in the relegation zone, will play against Nepal Police at Dashrath Stadium. Police are in the 10th position with 25 points from 20 matches and is looking to climb to the top 6 with a win today. In its previous match, Police had defeated 3-star 1-0. Meanwhile, a win today will help Kumaltar leave the relegation zone. In their previous encounter, Police had defeated Kumaltar 3-1. The second match of the day, scheduled for 6 p.m, will be between 3-star and Himalayan Sherpa. Former champions 3-star has been winless for 9 games now and is in the 9th spot. Himalayan Sherpa are in the 7th position with 26 points. In their previous encounter, 3-star had defeated Himalayan Sherpa 1-0. The Nepal women's national cricket team for the series against Malaysia has been announced. Cricket Association of Nepal, CAN, has announced a 14-member squad led by skipper Rubina Chetri. Team Nepal are to play a 5-match series against Malaysia. CAN has announced the Nepal squad after a week-long preparation. The team includes Sita Rana Magar, Indu Verma, Kavita Kuar, Kavita Joshi, Asmina Karmacharya, Kritika Marasini, Bindu Rawal, Ansari Begum, Apsari Begum, Kajol Shrestha, Samjana Khadka, Ishwari Bista, Jyoti Pandey and Saraswati Chaudhary. The 5-match series between the two sides begin on 29th of May. All matches will be played at the UST Oval in Malaysia. Time now for the weather update. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.